story, friends. I was hesitating to tell the story, not tell the story, because it needs. Okay, let's just launch into the story. Now, I did a little bit of research here because I thought that the Rebbe told the story once, and if he did, that would be interesting. But the Rebbe did not, which makes it even more interesting. Even though he told similar stories, but this he didn't. This he didn't. It's quite, I think, telling. So here's the story. So Reb Zalman Shimon Dvorkin, whatever, he was a big, he was, whatever. Reb Zalman Shimon Dvorkin was a great figure in Lubavitch. He was the Rav, the Rebbe's Rav. Before him was Shmuel Witten here in America, who was the Rav of the Frierdiker Rebbe, and then the Rebbe's Rav, a legendary figure, and Reb Zalman Shimon Dvorkin. Never had children, and he was the Rebbe's Rav. To be the Rebbe's Rav, you need to be, first and foremost, a Chassid, and then a big Gaon, a big Talmud Chacham. Because you have to know what to pass. Because the Rebbe wants to do his inyanim, but he wants to do it through Torah. So he'll involve the Rav in it, but the Rav has to be clever and tuned in and bottle enough to realize, to know the outcome that the Rebbe seeks that he should find in Torah. He was such a Rav. That's an example of what Chaim was just saying, that suffused with Chassidus, his nigla was suffused with Chassidus, meaning with Iskashus and Bittul. So here's the story. So he used to tell a story like this. Abhilo Paracha, famous Abhilo Paracha was himself was half a Rebbe, said the Tzemach Tzedek. He was a tzaddik and a Gaon. So he once wanted to go. He lived. He didn't see the Alter Rebbe, but there was a conversation under a bed, which the Rebbe did tell that story for another time. But he was by the Mittel Rebbe and then the Tzemach Tzedek. So he wanted to go to the Tzemach Tzedek for Shabbos. But he lived in Parich, and at the time, I'm assuming, and the distance was a few days travel, there was only a few days left. So there's a younger man, a young fella, that he was a wagon driver. He said, I got good horses. I can get you there in time. I got healthy young horses. I can get you to the Lubavitch for Shabbos. But the young fella, the chassid, says to him, on two conditions, I'll take you to Hillel. We have to go the highway. And he says that Hillel did not want to use the highway because it was made by the Tsar Nikolai, which it was a Seina Yisrael. Another thing, by the way, it doesn't mention in this story that Hillel did not travel on a bridge. He was once dozing in a wagon when it was traveling, and the horses came to a bridge and just stopped. They would not go. It gives an inkling of Hillel was. He didn't want to travel on a road that Nikolai made, Nicholas, but the man tells him, if you want to get to Lubavitch on time, we've got to take the highway. All right. Second, he says to him, it's a few days. When we daven, you have to daven, not barichas. Otherwise, we'll never get there. Okay. The Hillel is maskim, going to Lubavitch. He had no choice, so he agrees to the two conditions. Came the next morning, Shachris, and the Hillel davens barichas b'avodah. And the young man is upset. He says, Hillel, we made up. And we're not going to get to the Lubavitch before Shabbos. That's it. It's not going to happen because of your lengthy prayer. Said Reb Hillel like this. Now, this part of the story, Rebbe did tell in the other name of the Maggid, with a moshel. He said, someone is going. No, I'm sorry. No, it's a different moshel. Okay. Hillel says, someone is going to the fair, to the what do you call it today? We call it not a fair. Today it's called a trade show. Bidiyuk. in Leipzig, Germany was a central place in Europe where people, where these huge fairs took place. He's going there for business, to purchase, to sell. And on the way, he meets someone who is offering him merchandise goods for which he's going to the trade show to buy. And he's giving him a good price and the quality is good. So he's not going to say to him, I'm sorry, I'm not buying because I'm on the way to Leipzig, to the fair to buy the goods. Of course, he'll buy the goods here. Because the fair is only the means, not the objective. Similarly, he says to the younger man, why am I going to Lubavitch? To get instructions and inspiration from the Rebbe how to daven better. So now it's davening. I'd be a fool to stop this and to continue to Lubavitch. We'll stop here because we're already at 7:00. That's the story. I'll give you a heads up now. There's Rabbi Yoel's commentary and a Ben Shem Tov's commentary and a Moishe Gerari, the celebrated maskil. And we'll see that was earlier generations, not ours. Now is a higher Avodah, which we will see Beis Hashem tomorrow. You can probably guess where it's going, but we'll see that Beis Hashem tomorrow. Now tomorrow is a challenge, friends, because this is 6:00. He told the story. He's apparently the author, the origin of the story. I mean, he heard it from all the Chassidim, but okay, friends. So it's a cliffhanger.